moniker up there, biblical, traditional, and liturgical. And maybe you're wondering, how do we think of those three things? Well, biblical just meaning that we believe that God has revealed himself to us in the Bible, that he has shown us who he is. He's given us the accounts of his life here in the person of Jesus Christ, the promises of salvation, and that he is coming again to judge both the quick and the dead. And so we are biblical in that we look to the Bible to know God's character and his heart for us, his expectations for us, how we love our neighbor well, how we worship him. And so that's what makes us biblical. Traditional is just that, there are some churches that want to exist in more of a contemporary context, right? So the music is contemporary, the way they organize their space is contemporary. Maybe they take away some of the formality as part of their, like maybe they don't wear collars, maybe they don't call their clergyman father or deacon, or, they don't use the word priest. That being contemporary for them means being less formal. We go the other direction in that we are formal, and we do use some of the ancient language of the church that our priests, we might address them as father. When I see my bishop, I say, hello, your grace. That's the way I address my bishop. And we use traditional music, right? We're more likely to use a hymnal. During our worship services, we might stand up. We might kneel. It's not that we maybe kneel. We definitely kneel. We definitely stand up. That there's a lot of motion and call and response in our worship. And that's a very traditional way for churches to worship. And so as I talk about being traditional, you can't avoid the fact that we are also liturgical, that we use a very formal order in the way we worship. We use the liturgy present in the Book of Common Prayer as it was published in 1928. This is very formal language, and we just believe that because God is the King of Kings, that we relate to him in that way. And so we come and we acknowledge his royalty when we come to worship him. And so we're traditional and we're liturgical in those ways. As those things exist within a biblical context. So that's why we're biblical, traditional, and liturgical.